any free app is not a free app. You are the app at that point. Yeah. You are literally giving them every single piece of data and they're just turning around and selling it.
Why do they want to do that?
They want all the information on you. If you guys go on Google and put your name in and then write phone number, they'll have your address, any of your previous addresses you've been affiliated with, your parents' previous addresses, their IP address, tells you pretty much a lot of times your exact location of where you are.
What was the most insane or most interesting scam that has ever happened in your mind?
During the war with Russia and Ukraine, they were really upset with how Russia was handling everything. And the hackers hacked into what Russia was ordering. They decided to send pink.
What? Are you serious? Why should I, the average user on the internet, care about protecting myself?
You have no idea what software could be doing to your data in the future. I'm trying to tell people that is like the scariest thing because AI is constantly making predictions about who you're becoming.
Is there anything else that people can do to protect themselves online?
I had done 3 different types of engineering jobs already. So I worked at Chevron as literally in an oil refinery with like steel-toed boots and coveralls and a hard hat.
Damn.
The whole thing, yeah. And then I worked at GE in alternative energy. So all like the board-mounted power devices that you see on like telephone poles. I was testing the efficiency of because they always say, oh, it's 90% efficient, but like they don't consider the weather. So like when it's hundreds of degrees outside and all this technology's in a box sitting outside because you can't have it open at all, otherwise the elements get to it. It actually decreases, which is why we have like random power outages and stuff like that. So I was testing that. Not that fun. And then I did like pharmaceutical supply chain. So I was helping like the supply chain for a company called Abbott Labs. And there was like, that was really interesting, but that was my first internship. And I was like, I have to learn other things. And so I loved all that, but I just couldn't see myself there for long term. Because like I said, I love learning. I get bored really easily. And I was like, I think I'd be happy for 5 years and then I'd want to move. And I was kind of looking for like a forever job.
Right.
And I was like, I don't think these are my forever job. I think these would like keep me entertained, but I want to like be there forever. And I want to like grow with the business and like lead it in the end. And I stumbled upon consulting and my cousin was like, hey, you can like change different things. Like you can do tech consulting and try out different areas. And then once you figure out your area, then you do that. And when I was doing my tech consulting interviews at different companies, one company, Ernst & Young, which is where I went, was like, hey, would you be interested in cyber? And I had no idea what cyber was. Right. Zero clue. I thought it was coding. And people are going to come at you in the comments being like, this dummy, like, that's not cyber. But I thought it was coding, and I had to take 2 coding classes in college, and I barely passed. I got C- in both. And, you know, when you're applying to jobs, you say anything to get the job.
Yeah, of course.
You're like, sure, that sounds really interesting.
I can do that.
Exactly. And I'm like, yeah, it sounds interesting. Like, I'm not sure about the coding part, but like, sure. And she's like, well, you know, you learn everything on the job and some of it you don't have to code. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I was so intrigued by that job interview. And I ended up saying yes. And I've learned everything on the job. Like, this is 12 years ago now. And that's one of the reasons why I started my channel, because I had such a bad and the wrong impression, similar to what we were talking about in Dubai. Like, I had such a wrong impression of what cybersecurity was and what it is, and everyone else does. Everyone always used to be like, oh, you're in cybersecurity or you can hack my phone. Yeah. Right. Like, I'm like, no. Like, I would go on dates like 5-6 years ago and be like, oh yeah, like I work in cyber, and they'd like freak out. You're like, are you listening to me right now?
You probably know everything about me. I don't even text my friends about you anymore. You're checking every single thing that I do.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, people literally have no clue what I do. And so I wanted to get more women involved, because I was like, I did not know that like aerospace mechanical was super cool. Like cybersecurity is amazing. I was like, I never got to see myself or see anyone like me in that type of career field. So I wanted to do that. I wanted to get more people in cyber as a career in general, because everyone has this misconception that they have to be like a nerdy brainiac that doesn't talk to anyone. Right. And we need every type of person in cyber. And then I also just wanted to educate people on how to be safe online. Like, it was basically like the tips I would tell my mom, like when my mom asked me a question or my dad asked me a question, I would just like turn it into a video.
Oh, wow. That's a genius idea for videos.
Yeah, just any questions that people have.
Yeah.
Very interesting approach to how you navigated in your life, because it seemed like you never expected to be in this place.
No.
From the beginning.
Right.
As you said, you wanted to be a math teacher.
Yeah.
But you explored different opportunities and it led you here. And I assume you love what you're doing right now because you've been doing it for so long.
Yeah. I will say I always believe that like nothing in your life is ever wasted, even like the bad times.
I love
and like
that,
this really truly embodies that, because again, I want to be a math teacher. I'm basically a teacher now.
You're
Like
a teacher,
I get to
yeah.
be a cybersecurity teacher to everyone in the world, and it's like the coolest thing ever. I get to like be creative and figure out ways that people can be interested in a topic that they don't think probably don't even know about or
Yeah.
even interested in as a whole. And so it's just, I get to be able to like bring all of my tech expertise. By the way, every time in every semester I would go and be like, I have no idea what I just learned, but I did really well in school. I like went to every office hour. I loved what I learned, but it was like, the way I describe cybersecurity to people is the way I have to describe cybersecurity to myself, because I wasn't meant to be in this field. I don't think I was meant, like it wasn't like something that I was really going to be good at. And I found my way because I really listened to my unique strengths and like took that chance, and also took really uncomfortable steps. Like even though I found out like halfway through the semester I was in the wrong class, I could have been like, oh, next semester I'm gonna quit,
Yeah.
you know? And I was like, no, I'm intrigued. Like I like being in uncomfortable positions, not in like a negative way, but just like you only are gonna learn if you're not comfortable. Like if
Yeah.
you're comfortable, you're never gonna do anything else.
Absolutely. You have to suck at something.
Right.
Because that means you haven't done anything in that field. You're not good at it and you suck at it. It's uncomfortable. You feel like shit. And then you work on yourself over and over again until you become better. And then you find your passion. Because usually people think finding passion is just as easy as just thinking all the time and figuring out what it is. But you have to do so many things until you figure out what it is.
And you're never going to know your passion. I feel like I'm not like chasing my passion, but I feel like if you know your passion, you might be feeling like you're at your peak, right?
Yeah.
And I never ever want to say in my life that I've peaked, because that means that your life's not going to get any better.
Right.
And I only believe that my life is going to get better, because why would I believe anything else? You're setting yourself up for failure. Like our life is going to be so incredibly cool. I don't care how old I get. Like I'm going to continue to chase my passions and my dreams and like reinvent myself and figure out like new things that I love, because otherwise life's just going to get dull and boring.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful mentality.
Yeah.
I love that. We actually have the same mentality as well. Anytime we get a little bit comfortable, we
get
become
stressed.
anxious.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, this is not
so
cool.
comfortable. Yeah. You have to
Everything's
do
super-
something.
yeah,
Come up with
everything's
a
going
project.
well.
Let's do something. Yeah.
And you moved to Dubai.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
This is like our third
immigration.
immigration?
Yes. So, immigration is always tough, but every single time we immigrated, there were new doors that opened to us every single time. New friends, new opportunities, and we grew so much every single time. And as you mentioned, when you are in an uncomfortable position, that is exactly when growth happens. That is exactly when you look for ways to, be a better person, be a better version of yourself, and you eventually will find it because you want to get out of that discomfort zone, basically.
Right.
I want to ask you this. You
Yeah.
said you went out on many dates and people freaked out when they found out you were in cyber. Let's say you were on a date right now. How would you best describe what you do in the shortest way possible?
Well, as an influencer and just in what I used to do in cyber.
In cyber.
Okay. I protect people's data.
Perfect. So then that leads me to the next question. Say I'm an average user on the internet.
Yeah.
I have a Gmail account that I use to send and receive emails. I have shoppings that I do on Amazon and other shopping websites. So there's my data on these websites. I have an Instagram account. I post my photos and videos, stories on which I have my location tagged, of course. And
Is it your exact location?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All
pretty
right,
much.
all right.
Yeah, it's the
I go to
perimeter,
this,
right?
I go to the highest rooftop in Dubai.
And I tag the location.
Okay.
I'm talking about pretty much everyone I know and myself.
Yeah.
And probably 50 to 100 other websites that I used in the past 5 years that have my, username and password. Why should I, the average user on the internet, care about protecting myself?
Yeah. So I love that question because I get it all the time. It's like, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, why would I care? Well, and people used to say, oh, physical threats, right? So it used to be like you post, hey, I'm going on vacation on Facebook. And then everyone's like, oh, now burglars are going to know that you're not home and they're going to come and attack. Okay. So there's a physical threat. You're like, not that likely, But now you're like posting and you're being more specific. Like I'm staying at the Marriott Hotel in Barbados and I'm enjoying my vacation. Well, now scammers know that you're at the Marriott Hotel. So all they have to do is text you saying like, hey, you forgot to check in. We need a few extra details. Can you click on the link and put it in? So you're a way bigger target when you put way more information out there on you. And what people don't realize is that scammers are everywhere. And they don't care who you are. People are like, oh, who am I? Like, why would they even try to scam me? It doesn't matter. You have money. And I guarantee you, like, if your socials YouTube gets hacked, knock on wood, it never does. Like, you would pay whatever amount that they would probably ask for you to get it back, right? So like, they're figuring out ways to get to you based off all the data that you share. So not only do you have physical, but you have, the scammer and the emotional and all that like type of threats that are online, the online threats. And now you have AI driven threats. And this is what like I'm trying to tell people that is like the scariest thing, because AI doesn't just know you, doesn't just like store your data, right? It's constantly making predictions about who you're becoming. And you have no idea what software could be doing to your data in the future. Just like I talked to a journalist a couple months ago, and she was like, yeah, I found out that a lot of my articles in the last 10 years have been used to train AI. I don't want that to happen. And we're already seeing AI start doing like AI predictions. So in the US, there's a company called Instacart. And Instacart actually started using like AI-driven data to increase for price increases. So I always use this as an example. I love mac and cheese, which is like a very American thing. Macaroni and cheese is my favorite meal of all time. And if I bought a box of mac and cheese every week in my Instacart order, AI started realizing it, and it was increasing my price compared to everyone else.
Because they know you buy
Because they know I'm going to buy it anyways.
And it's auto, and
That's
you
really messed up.
Yeah.
That's really messed up.
Yeah, but you have no idea. Like, why would you think anything of it? You're like, oh, and why would I ever be like, hey, are you getting the same price on my like Kraft mac and cheese box? Like, you don't really notice until it's happening. And I also say, like, we have wearables all the time, right? We have Oura Rings and Apple Watches and Garmin's and Fitbits and
Whoops that everyone's wearing.
And then
now,
everyone's typing in their health data in ChatGPT. What happens if they all start talking to each other? And then what happens if, because that is not like considered confidential data at that point, what happens if it starts talking to your healthcare provider? And your healthcare provider, it's starting to predict, or chat is starting to predict, hey, these people are starting to show early signs of probably cancer. Your healthcare provider starts jacking up your rates or canceling your coverage altogether. Yeah. Like, you don't even know, like, people don't realize that the data that they share now is building models in the future, and it actually could be building models against you and predicting stuff that you have literally zero control over. You have no control over the data once you put it in AI. You just don't.
Yeah.
Your job just got substantially harder with AI. I just realized that.
More content,
more views, more comments, but it's like 10 times harder.
It's, a lot scary for me too. And then I also try not to like scare people, right? Like, I'm trying to just be real. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, because there's a lot of like scary aspects that I could go down that rabbit hole. But I'm like, is it realistic? Not necessarily. But I do try to empower people to like, here's what you can do right now, and then like just be more mindful. And I always say cybersecurity is kind of like, it's simple steps that you can take. So everyone thinks, oh my gosh, this is so scary. I don't even want to touch it. Like, it's like if I were to think of like astrophysicists, like I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just going to tune you out because there's no way I'm comprehending what you're saying. That's what people think about cyber. They're like, what? Like numbers, coding, weird hackers in a basement. Like, that has nothing to do with me. But it's all about online security. It's all about how to empower you to protect yourself and the little simple steps that you can take. So that's what I try to teach, is like the simple things that take maybe 3 or 4 seconds. Like, don't accept all the cookies when you go in.
That was one of the questions.
I have written cookies. Just cookies.
You didn't bring me any cookies.
But let's start. So we want to know, what are some of the steps that we can take slowly to start protecting whatever we have in our digital presence?
Yeah. So I think the first thing is like, have strong passwords, which I hate. I want to bang my head against the wall.
I'm going to leave right now.
Don't reuse your password. That's like, it's authentication and like the 2-step authentication, so multi-factor. So not only are you signing in with a password, but they're texting you a link, or not a link, they're texting you a code or they're emailing you the code. Authenticator app all the way, by the way. It's way safer from a security standpoint. Only because if you're already reusing your passwords, then they could probably get into your email.
I'm not. Why are you looking at me?
I'm not.
I was specifically. You're like the most guilty. Okay.
No, but I want to stay on the password thing.
Okay.
So you have your bank accounts, you have your social security number, all of those. Then you have your Spotify, Facebook, Instagram. They all require password.
Yeah.
It's
Key
impossible.
accounts.
Yeah, it's impossible to have different passwords for every single one of them.
And remember every single one of them.
Password manager.
Okay. Are they safe? I used to use one 2 years ago. What was it? 1Password or something? I forgot. But I thought, I'm putting all of my password in one place. If they get hacked, then I'm gone. Am I right or I'm not?
So you are correct in that sense. Most password managers are actually really good. There's a few that are bad, but I'm not going to name them because I don't want to like throw people under the bus. But do research on your password manager. I would say.
Can you recommend a good one at least?
Yeah. So there's 1Password I use. Keeper Password is good too. They have like tons of awards for how they're securely storing. It's actually not storing. That's the cool thing. So some of these password managers have figured out a way where they're not like storing it locally on their desktops or their hard drives or their softwares. So that's the issue. Is like when companies are like, hey, we got it for you. Similar to VPNs, we can talk about this. VPNs are a little sketch. I don't actually use them a lot. But so a lot of times password managers are like, hey, use our password manager. We have it fully encrypted, but it's saved on our storage. Just like you have Google Drive and it's saved on Google Drive. Ultimately, hopefully no one gets into Google Drive and gets it on the back end. That's what you're hoping doesn't happen with password managers either. Sometimes it happens. There's been a few data breaches of password managers, so please look that up. But there's some companies that are actually figuring out ways where they actually don't store it at all. So there's like some, I don't know, it's very technical.
Right, like encrypted in a sense?
Encrypted in a sense, but it doesn't just like sit in one location.
Right. Okay.
So just do your research on it. But I use 1Password and Keeper Security. Keeper has like a bunch of awards for how they're storing it.
Right.
So
couldn't
then
explain
we
that.
choose one master password for our password manager.
And don't have that reused.
Yes.
And don't have the same base one either.
And don't put it in Notes or Google Drive. Like, don't put it there, right?
So people have asked me, like, can I put it in Notes? I actually don't mind you putting in Notes. If your Notes is, you can lock down your Notes now, at least on Apple. So on an iPhone, you can lock down with your biometrics, so like no one will be able to get in. I actually think that's like just as secure because you're not relying on anyone else as long as it's a secure note. Because I know password managers can be difficult for people that aren't in tech, and I get it. I'd rather have you have a strong password and save it in like a lockdown note folder than not have a strong password at all. Yeah.
I think the biggest problem for me is Alex, our producer, literally said what you said earlier today. He said, who would hack me? And I had the exact same mentality because you don't want to fix anything until you're burnt. Right? That's how people work. That's how humans work. So first thing I got to ask you is who's most vulnerable? Is it people with similar
It's the
passwords?
people like you who said, who's going to hack me?
No, it's people like you.
Okay, so we who say we don't care, we are the most vulnerable.
target.
Yeah,
I think.
because you're probably not doing the simple steps that you need to make sure that you're like somewhat locked down.
Okay, so and you're saying the ones who get the most vulnerable are the ones who are careless, one, and two, again, the most dangerous thing you're saying is to have reused passwords across websites.
Yeah, and clicking on random links.
Clicking on random links, which happens all the time, especially for older people. I realized, especially with our parents now, because social media, for me at least, I grew up with it, right? With Facebook, Instagram, and everything. So I know my way around. But with our parents or even grandparents, sometimes I feel like it becomes even more difficult for us to tell them exactly how to use these apps, because sometimes they'll get links that look legit to them. They can't tell the difference from a fake website and a real website. So I'll see them clicking on things and they check with us sometimes. They send us messages. They're like, is this legit? Is this not?
Well, that's nice. That's a good way to do it though. Because if parents don't have a way to ask, then they just do it. Because they're like, well, I don't want to bother my kids. I think this is right or I don't think this is right. So I would always tell you guys, tell your parents to come to you. Anything that you have a question, if you're not bothering me, just come to me and ask me first.
Anything dodgy.
That extra step is huge. So, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No problem. So, yeah, anything that is dodgy, just wait a few seconds, try to analyze it. And you're saying fake websites is how a lot of people get to you.
Fake landing pages.
I
used to work in fintech, and we were working with banks, and we saw scammers copy the exact same page. And if imagine the bank was CIBC, the link was CIIBC, and people could barely read it. And it looked exactly the same. You put in your username and password, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
It would be gone.
Yeah. So it's crazy. So it's phishing, Phishing, is a huge thing. People get duped all the time. And actually, I love to kind of break this bubble. The younger generation is falling for it way more than the older generation, because the older generation is already skeptical. The younger generation is born online.
Okay.
So it's what are they, Gen Alphas? I don't know.
But I figured they'd be more tech savvy so they wouldn't fall for it.
No, they trust everything, and they inherently trust everything online. And so they don't realize it's a spoofed account or a spoofed site. They think it's real.
Wow.
And but the issue is no one talks about them because they don't have the money to lose. So the reason why everyone talks about the older people is because when the older people get hit, they get hit hard. All their pensions are gone, everything is gone, and it's awful. Can you imagine that? I can't even, That's like one thing I'm actually mortified about, like having it happen to my parents. I'm like, I'm in the spotlight now. Our information's potentially out there. Like anything that looks weird. If you are tired, please don't click on any links. There's actually studies that say if you take 9 seconds before you clicking on any link to really like look at the URL, see if there's like spelling issues. There's not a lot of spelling issues, by the way, anymore because chat and AI have kind of fixed everything, so it looks pretty. But if it's like kind of blurry or pixelated, if the URL looks a little off, and if there's urgency. Honestly, urgency is like the biggest sign of if it's a scam. Like, you need to do this in the next 24 hours or your account's gonna be locked down and you're gonna lose all your money. And of course you're like, oh my gosh, that's my bank. I can't, what do you mean? This is the first time I've heard about it. And you're like clicking in and you're freaking out.
Yeah.
It's urgency.
Yeah, I figured that is probably one of the most. I've had that before in Canada, especially. There's a lot of calls. Like on a daily basis, they're calling you from the bank, they're calling you from your SIM card. Your
CRA, tax department, they will say, oh, just give me the OTP. There is this problem. If you don't fix it now, we'll block
You're always
you.
in some sort of danger and you have to fix something quickly. So we've gotten used to it in Canada. Here, luckily, there's not a lot compared to Canada. But in your experience, what has been the easiest way or the most common way that people are getting scammed now? Is it phishing, what you mentioned?
Yeah, it's pretty much phishing. It's like the clicking on links or falling for phone calls.
Okay. And how has AI played a role in that over the past year or two? Since 11 Labs is now there with AI voice cloning and video generation models that are getting super good too.
So AI is making it a lot easier for it to be like good grammar and good English. Before we used to have like the Nigerian prince scams that were like really mistyped and like I'm the prince of Nigeria and I really want to help you. And now everyone always likes to talk about AI driven scams, right? And they're like, deep fakes. I'm like, okay, we have a long way to go until deep fakes are mainstream. Scamming is actually it's like the largest economy this is the third largest economy in the world. Not just like personal scams, but just like overall like cyber scams, anything.
Anything done digitally.
Digitally is the third largest economy in the world. So it's US, China, and that.
We should check it out.
We're doing something wrong. I'm gonna leave now.
This is a business podcast now.
But so people are making like loads of money. Scammers are making loads of money, and I think not to humanize the scammers. A lot of people are like, oh, why would it be me? Scammers literally go into their job as like a clock in, clock out. They won't get paid until they scam people. They're like trying to provide for families in like third world countries. Actually, I don't know if we're allowed to say third world countries, developing countries. And like people don't realize that they have so much motivation to scam you and they don't care who you are.
Right.
Like they just need to make the money so they can get paid and like they can provide for their family. And a lot of times also, they're like, it's kind of like a jail situation. Like they're stuck there until they get someone. But back to your question of like what people fall for. It's like the romance scams.
Oh yeah, that's a big one.
People don't want to talk about and you never hear about it because people think it's embarrassing. But I'm like, people need to share that it's happening so more people realize that it's so prominent.
Wow.
I'm so surprised by that.
Yes.
And
they target lonely people.
Yes, and girls. I think it's mostly like targeted at women for this point, but a lot of women just want to believe in they want to believe that the person is real. They want to believe that they're loved. They want to believe in they just want to believe in the best of someone. They're not ever gonna question is this person real? Like why would you ever question that? Especially if you're lonely, and also people just want someone to talk to. Some people actually know that it's probably a scam, but they push it in the back of their mind because they're like, well, I get to be talking. It's just it's a sad thing. But I mean, there's like sextortion scams, which is really hitting like the younger boys, which is like when people scammers basically contact boys on Instagram or like Snapchat and pretend to be some other younger girl.
Like a hot girl.
Yeah, hot girl, and they generate they get photos off of line. It might not even be AI photos. It might just be real photos. Actually, did you see that Grok was undressing women in
I heard of it.
I've heard of it. Yeah,
well, there's a bunch of articles that are like Grok's undressing. I'm like, Grok is not undressing anyone. It's the men. I hate to throw you under the bus, but
very good point. I literally saw a video, and it was like a serious BBC interview or something, and of this girl complaining about this to the journalist. And in my mind, I'm like, it's not Grok. You can do it with Nano Banana. You can do it with any AI model.
Yeah.
Why are you targeting this specific AI model? You can do it with any AI model right now. But that's really messed up.
Yeah. So then the scammers are going and taking photos from either other people that they've scammed, and they like pretend to be that person. And then once the younger boys send the whatever revealing photo of them or anything, any information, they're just extorted constantly, saying like, "Oh, we're gonna share." They're
blackmailed.
Basically, we're gonna share this with the world until you pay us money or keep giving us more photos. Then those photos are used to other people. So it's like there's a lot of like romance, love, sextortion. It's like so terrible online, and hundreds and thousands of people are falling for it every day. And people just don't want to talk about it because they think it's embarrassing, and it shouldn't be embarrassing at this point because it's so prominent. Like we need to start telling people that this is happening, and it's like not, okay.
I'm genuinely surprised by that. I knew there's scamming happening. I mean, it hasn't happened to me, but I didn't know that.
Are you sure you don't have like an internet girlfriend?
Okay, how do I protect females from these kind of scams?
When you're saying these sextortion and romance scams, are they happening predominantly on Tinder and Bumble and all these dating apps, or just random websites
Well, I mean,
online?
it's mostly dating. Well, the romance scams are mostly dating apps.
Okay.
And the sextortion is mostly like Snapchat, Instagram, like because it's like
DMs, yeah?
Yeah, DMs.
Okay.
And how do people protect themselves, especially young, I would say teenagers?
Yeah.
Is it just don't answer to strangers, like as basic as
You
that?
can't ask people to do that. People still want to talk to people, especially
Yeah, I mean,
if they're lonely.
I'm not going to throw myself under the bus here, but like when I was growing up, we had like the chat rooms and stuff. You had like your AIM handle.
Yeah.
And like my mom told me not to go in the chat rooms. I still went in.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's not a solution. You can't just ask people not to go.
Yeah. So what I always tell people is like, I mean, I never like sent photos because we didn't have that, But I'm always like, if you are okay with your mom and your grandma and your dad and your grandpa seeing these photos, then go for it, send them.
That's a good point.
Yes.
That's a good point.
But if you're not okay with them seeing it, you might not want to send it.
Yeah, true.
And then also like don't trust people that you haven't met in real life.
That's
but
what I was thinking.
Again, it's easier said than done because when you're a kid, you just are like, what's the harm? You don't get it. Like it's not. And then the other thing is like, I think open conversation with your child is so important. And I always say like it's easier said than done. I don't have children, so I can't imagine how difficult it is. And I know it is difficult, but like you want to make sure that if something does happen to them, because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, especially with a lot of these kids. And it's not a problem, but you want to be able to like say, hey, if something does happen, it's all right, just come to me and we're gonna figure it out. Like I will be your protector type of thing. Like you want them to be able, similar to your parents, like you want them to trust you enough to bring you any issues.
Yeah.
And there are things like in the US, there's like, for if you're under 18, there's places that you can go if you are getting sextorted, or if like there's nudes circulating of you that are, if you're under 18, there's some FBI places that you can go to report stuff.
Right.
So you can actually help your child. It's gonna be probably terrifying for them. It's not like fun. And I've actually seen it happen to a few of like close friends of mine's kids. And we've like figured it out, but you have to have that open line of communication because otherwise kids are just like getting super depressed. I mean, there's a lot more, I don't like to say this, but like there's suicides and they don't know what to do. Like, people don't.
No, I think it's good to talk about it because I think it will happen to a lot of families. It happen to a lot of even like adults. And I think the reason they don't want to report it or they don't want to share it, and it gets worse right after that because they will send more, they will ask more, they'll ask more money.
They'll continue to ask more money, yeah.
So I think the first step is also report it.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking how this is actually going to hold up in the future. Do you think it's going to change with AI? Because yes, you're right. It's easy to now undress people using AI. Right. But at the same time, even if the photo is real, you can always just say it's an AI generated photo because technically anyone can undress anyone right now. Right. I can do it. It's so easy. I can do it with like...
brother.
I can easily just use a Comfy UI model to do that. But what I'm saying is, will people trust these photos, do you think, in the next 5 years? Or just be like, anyone can do that. It's not me.
What do you think? I mean, I think we go back to the Kim Kardashian situation. Like, if she was here now, would she say it is?
Yeah, that's
why it's a question for me. I actually don't know the answer to this.
I don't know. I would still, even if it was AI or not AI, I would still be like, what the heck? Get this down.
And report it still,
Yeah.
I would say. Still report it. No matter what, report it. Because I think the moment you start reporting and talking about it, usually scammers will back off. Because they have probably 100 other people to go to, so they'll just forget about you. I think that would be the first best step to take.
I will say there's some people, like I did a podcast with someone that was like on like ex-Bachelorette, like, Bachelor, Bachelorette franchise. And she was like, I wouldn't care. Take as many as you want. I was like, touche. All right. I would care, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's just whatever floats people's boat. I don't know.
Learning 3D, VFX, and animation should not take you years. That's exactly why we designed the Ultimate Unreal Engine program, which is our best work yet. This is our masterpiece, which is gonna take you step by step from beginner to pro in Unreal Engine in just 14 days. And by the end of it, you'll get to create a beautiful cinematic short film just like this. We'll take you step by step through pre-production, planning out your scenes, to setting up your environments using photorealistic assets really quickly.
We will teach you modeling, texturing, and animation.
We'll even teach you how to use metahumans to create beautiful digital characters that look real.
We will teach you AI workflows to speed up your process.
We'll teach you how to set up your lights so that your scenes look cinematic. We'll teach you how to use cameras inside Unreal Engine to set up beautiful shots, animate the cameras, not just digitally, but using virtual production techniques like using your phone to move the camera in the scene, which is super fun.
We will teach you motion design tools so you can create an amazing title sequence at the end.
We'll teach you simulations as well, like cloth, destruction, and particles. And you learn all of this in 14 days.
And for those of you who are listening to this podcast, we have a very special price. Use the code PODCAST in the link below this video and you will get $300 off from our Ultimate Unreal Engine program.
And to make it a no-brainer for you, if you hate the course and you hate our teaching style, we'll give you your money back, because we've never had a single person say that before. You can even go to our Discord community and check with our members what they think about the course. And by the way, speaking of the Discord community, we have 24/7 support for all of our students, which means if you ever have any issues while learning, you can always contact us. We'll respond, get it solved. Even if the problem persists, you can send us your Unreal Engine files and we will fix it for you, send it back so you're never stuck. And the reason why we're so proud of this 24/7 support is because most courses don't actually offer that. So if you're learning and you get stuck, it's over and you're lost. So, Farhad,
click on the link below this video and use the code PODCAST.
PODCAST, in case you didn't know. Let's get back in. So we are talking about the steps that people can take. So we talked about passwords, we talked about reporting and having that open communication with families. Is there anything else that people can do to protect themselves online?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. Okay. Every time you download an app or go on a website, you're usually giving them permission of something. So like
you're talking about the TOS, right?
The terms and conditions, like checkbox.
Terms of services or the privacy. Okay, so we don't have to do the checkbox. Like that's not that big of a deal. I mean, cookies are annoying, but we can talk about that after. But like even with apps, right? Like you're giving Meta all access to your camera roll, even the pictures that you're not posting.
Yes.
Because you're like, let us suggest ways for you to post. It's like, no, let's not have you read every single one of my pictures and see exactly where I was every second of my life. Absolutely not.
That's your fault. Sorry to cut you off. I gave limited access to Meta.
It was so annoying.
And you gave full access to all my photos.
Even with CapCut, because every time I'm editing using his phone, I have to give them permission for a single
manage
video.
access.
Manage access.
I just gave full access.
He gave full access to my whole
Also,
camera.
CapCut's so bad.
Yes,
I know, but listen, I'm editing on a daily basis, and every single time. By the way, let me just say something. I am the perfect embodiment of literally every person on the internet, which is why we're here to treat me. In return, everybody else.
All right, give me your phone. Let's just go through it.
So you're suggesting one of the worst things that I've done is allowing these apps to access my full album of photos.
It's not like the worst thing. Everything is a risk-based approach. You have to consider everything on the internet, not just cyber. So when you do that, you're just adding more risk.
Right.
And I don't want the risk. Especially like I don't really want CapCut to have all my photos. Like I don't know. I don't have any photos. And everyone's like, oh, I don't have anything to hide. It's like that's not the point.
Yes.
That's not the point. You are a bigger target. And then also, actually, CapCut has like a lot of weird legal stuff. If you read the fine print, it is creepy what they make it sue you.
This stuff? Like
I do read most of it. Like for main apps, I do. Yeah.
Okay.
But also, they constantly change.
There's
Yes.
three things. Okay, let's break this down. There's the terms and conditions, the first one.
Yes.
There's now the tracking, which
Right.
Apple does every time you download an app. Do you want to allow this app to track your activity?
Is it track activity or is it track? Well, there's like location tracking, there's
Yes.
microphone, there's
Right.
camera roll, there's like a lot.
Depending on what the app does,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course. But I'm saying like the most common one is the terms and condition, which is the case with all the apps. Then there's the tracking of your activities on the app and other apps,
Right.
so they can customize it better for you.
Yeah.
I saw your eyes rolling.
Yeah.
And then the next one is.
How do they customize the apps better for you?
Yeah.
That
So
makes
that's
your
the thing
life
you
so
have to
much
tell us.
easier.
That's the thing you have to tell us.
They don't.
Okay, so why do they want to do that?
They want
More
all the
data.
information on you.
So that they can sell things to you?
Yeah. So
Okay.
so every time any free app is not a free app. You are the app at that
Right.
point.
Yes.
You are literally giving them every single piece of data and they're just turning around and selling it.
Right.
They're turning around for marketing purposes. They're selling it to who knows? They could even be selling it to AI.
Right.
Like, and it's just all being used and filtered and sold.
You mentioned in one of your videos data brokers.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay. So data brokers, it's a big thing in the US. I'm sure actually if you guys probably go on Google and search, like put your name in and then write phone number next to it, you don't even have to put your real
I'm
phone
scared.
number.
I don't want to do it.
It'll pop up like all these places and they'll have you like your address, any of your previous addresses you've been affiliated with, your parents' previous addresses, their IP address, which also IP, by the way, is like tells you pretty much a lot of times your exact location of where you are. And if people have your IP address and you haven't changed the auto password, like the standard password that you got for your computer, your Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Luckily we did.
No, that
Okay.
would change.
Yeah,
Okay, we're
Because
good with that.
admin and admin password for
No,
Wi-Fi
luckily
is
we
not
don't have it.
ideal.
No, we
Yeah.
don't have that.
Because
That
like
I
people
know.
don't realize you can literally go to that IP address and log in to it if you don't change the
Yeah.
admin password. Anyways, so it's a lot more data on you than you think. And I don't personally like. Well, you probably know this. Dubai, everyone has each other's phone number.
Yes.
I do not share my phone number with a lot of people because in the US you can get so much data off of people's phone
yes.
numbers.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
data brokers are constantly, anytime you make a new application, you're doing anything, it's constantly getting sent back to the data brokers, and the data brokers make a huge profile on you and say, hey, do you want, I'm going to say a young girl who likes mac and cheese? Here's all her data. Like, here's all the young girls in California that like mac and cheese. You know, they make profiles and then they sell those specific profiles to basically the highest bidder. Like young moms or new dads with golf addictions. I don't know. I just said that because it's funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, data brokers basically just like compile all of this data. They buy it and they compile it all and then they sell it off again. And
Right.
it happens because every time you go on websites and you're creating new accounts, you're adding, your digital footprint gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So what I do to lessen that is, one, I limit the amount of data that like apps have or access it has, right? So I say, don't have access to my microphone. Like, why does Uber need access to my microphone? Like, I'm going to call them separately. I'm not calling through the app.
Right.
Why does Uber need access to my camera roll? You don't.
Okay.
And it asks, like, they're asking for everything because they might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just go through and I say, like, hey, approve which apps have access to my camera, my microphone, and that takes like 5 seconds. Like, it really doesn't take that long.
That's true.
I'm looking at you because I know
I
that
know. I'm getting judged here. I can feel that. Yes.
So that's like something super, super easy to do, is just like go through that and make sure like click those off.
Okay, so we click those off, we limit access, but what about the terms and condition that keeps getting updated? And for example, they will say that, oh, we'll use your data to train our models. And technically we don't have any option, right? If Meta decides to take all this information to train their models, we just need to go
Usually
with it.
they have a toggle that you
Okay.
can, like, so LinkedIn did that, but I love LinkedIn, but they're being sketch. They were like, they didn't give any notification and they just said, like, as of this date, we're starting to use every single one of your posts to train our AI models unless you opt out.
Oh, okay.
So there's like explicit opt-out and implicit opt-out.
Okay.
And certain countries have rules where you have to be explicit. Like, I have to explicitly say, yes, you can, versus explicitly like it passively go through.
Right.
US is like, they don't care.
Yeah.
The UK, Europe is a lot more strict because of GDPR, which is like a privacy law. But yeah, I mean, the terms of service always update. Usually, if you have those like boxes checked off already, they don't have access. Or if you're already like pretty locked down, it's not as bad as you think. So the other thing is, when you make accounts, unless you're like an account that you're like going to use all the time, I like completely make up false names and like I have like a Google Voice number, which I always give to people in other countries, but then they're like, I can't WhatsApp you. And I'm like, sorry, you don't get my real one. But yeah, so I have a Google Voice number. If they absolutely need a phone number, I have a bunch I can generate real working emails all the time, and I just give them that. And or if you use a temporary email, like if you are going on a shopping site and you're like, I'm never going to buy on the shopping site again, I want that 10%
Temporary
off.
email.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually such a good idea.
Yeah.
You gave your email for every single 10%
Yeah,
off.
that's fine. Yeah, listen, I know. I'm aware of that.
Well, it's our culture. We like discounts. Okay? My boyfriend is very upset every time I'm like, I could have gotten 10% off. It's a big deal. He's like, $5. Like, it's a big deal. But yeah.
Since we're talking about shopping websites, cookies.
Yeah.
We brought that up 3 times, and now the 4th time, let's get into it, because it's on every website, and some websites explicitly disallow you from continuing the browsing experience.
Wait, that's illegal.
Which
Unless you
is,
select what type of cookies you can limit it.
I've seen websites that have literally just like blocked out. The entire page is not even visible, and then when you're trying to scroll, it doesn't. They just want the cookies. Let's just say it's not always the case, but sometimes it is.
Too.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
do you allow cookies all the time? Sometimes, never.
I only allow necessary / functional cookies, which means that they're only collecting cookies for the website to run on my computer.
But they want more.
They want more. They want like advertising. They want targeting. They want like there's usually if you like go and press the box of saying like which cookies they're collecting, it'll say like necessary advertising. I don't know. There's a whole list of them. I just uncheck every box.
Right.
Oh, so you just go with the base level, basically. Like.
But if you're like constantly on like Amazon shopping, like you want it to save your cart because nothing's worse than like spending an hour like adding all the stuff to your cart and then be like, I'll come back later, and then it like doesn't.
It goes away.
It just disappears. But like random sites and like that I know I'm gonna go on one time, absolutely not. You're collecting like absolutely basic necessity. I turn everything off that I can. Because there's one that never gets to turn off, and that's like the necessary ones.
Okay.
So pretty much every other one is off.
Okay.
And I press accept.
I'm assuming it does make you vulnerable if you turn on everything else.
It's not necessarily vulnerable. I feel like out of all the tips, that's not bad because it's more like advertising and tracking, but it is like kind of
more information on you.
It's more information on you. The worst is like everyone always wants to sign up for everything, right?
Yes.
Like especially our generation, we like got online. It was the coolest thing to like sign up for every account, like be the first person on Facebook. And I don't know, I played Neopets, so let's throw that one in there. I don't think that's I found out that was still a thing. But so we always wanted to create accounts, and we always gave our real information. And I've been trying to tell people like, how cool is it that you can just like you can have your entire online identity. Like you can make up a name, and from now on, everything online besides like absolutely necessary things, which in my opinion is like tax purposes and government websites, everyone else can know you by a different name. Because even if you think about like, okay, if you're buying something online, they don't need to know your name. As long as they have the address, they don't need to know your name. They don't need to know your phone number. You could give them the phone number of the building. Like, they really don't need to know all this stuff.
For someone like Faraz, is there any way to delete the information online that we have? Yeah,
usually if you go to like settings and privacy, you can see what they have on you. And actually Google used to allow you to see all the information. You could download your entire like digital Google footprint, which is crazy. But mine took like a month and a half. This was like years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know if they still do that, but you can ask them, and especially if you're in certain states, like California is really strict, the UK is super strict, you're actually able to ask any website and say, you need to send me the data that you have on me, and you can either ask them to correct it or ask them to delete it. But a lot of people, what people do is like, oh, I'm just going to delete the app and it's going to delete. I'm like, no.
That doesn't work that way. They'll still keep your data.
Yeah, they're still going to keep all the data they have on you, unless you explicitly like email like their privacy person or like their help saying, I want you to remove all my data on me.
Is there any way to remove your data from data brokers?
Yes.
There is.
Yes. So
and
there's companies
in aggregate, so I don't have to go to them one by one.
Because I don't remember all the websites I use.
Oh, I mean, and there's hundreds, if not almost thousands. So it depends on where you live. Again, the easiest thing to do is like Google yourself and find the top searches because there's a lot of smaller ones too, but it's, a lot harder to find. So there's companies that do it for you. So I actually I partnered with a company called Incogni because they're international. I've also used other companies cloaked and delete me. They're mostly in the US.
Right.
And then actually now California, as of January 1st, if you're a California resident, you get to do it for free. They're like, they pay for it. They like do it
Interesting.
on behalf of
Okay.
the government. But yeah, there's like companies that do it. They do deletion services and they do it every month. So you get like a full report of like everywhere they removed it from. But if you're like, hey, I don't really care that much, like I only want to delete mine from the main ones, I would just search your name and see what comes up in the first few pages, and then you can opt out. Like as long as you search like the term opt out, usually you can find it at the bottom, and you have to kind of go through like a little bit of a request process. It's a little annoying, which is why I just go through a company because I'm like, I don't have the time. And I feel like if you guys are in the public eye, like maybe you don't want your data out there. But
Yeah, probably. That's what I was thinking
Yeah.
after this podcast. Send a few email to get our data
Listen,
off.
I want everyone to comment right now. If you guys like me, just let me know so I don't
No,
feel
but I
alone
think-
because
no,
I'm
actually,
definitely.
There's so
that we
many
have
people
you.
like you.
Yes, there are so many people like you. It's
I'm
good
the
to
model.
have you.
I'm the
Yeah.
keep
model.
bringing
here.
the questions.
Yes,
I'm gonna
yes.
keep shutting them down and shoving them back in your face. It's fine.
Okay, so I want to know something interesting from all of your experience online. Of course, you get a lot of comments from people. You work with people, different companies, and you've been to the NATO cybersecurity. I forgot the name of the event.
Cyber Coalition.
Cyber Coalition.
Yeah.
You must have heard of a lot of different things that have happened in the past. What was the most insane or most interesting scam that has ever happened in your mind?
Oh man, yeah. Cyber warfare is insane because people don't see it. Like you don't see it, but it's
Right.
happening all the time. Like we are currently in cyber warfare. At least the U.S. and like everyone is, all the major players. And so
You're talking about like on a
Military
governmental level,
right?
Okay, this is not like people, like not
No.
average
Yeah, okay.
people. Okay.
no. Well, I mean, the issue is that average people are the targets.
Or the target, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, I'll tell you my concern, and then I'll tell you like a crazy funny story.
Okay.
So my concern as a cybersecurity person is the everyday person is the one operating our critical infrastructure. Like you have like mom and pop people that are going to their job, doing their stuff. They have admin access to critical infrastructure potentially, and they don't really realize they might make a mistake because everyone is human and we make mistakes. And like even I can make a mistake. Like everyone can make a mistake,
Right.
which is why I love doing my content because I'm like it's for everyone, and it's not supposed to only hit technical people. It's not supposed to hit experts. It's supposed to hit everyone. And it's just supposed to, it's like reminders like, hey, by the way, update your passwords, make strong passwords, turn on VPN, don't give your information. No, I'm kidding. So my issue is like, okay, for the critical infrastructure in the US, like if we're having people try to infiltrate our critical infrastructure, all they have to do is get one person that's at that facility to click on an admin link. And then what they do is they have access to something and they kind of keep going and like trying to break things until they get to the highest level. So that is my concern, and that is a very large concern for a majority of the cybersecurity population. Obviously, AI threats are huge. Deep fakes are a big deal, but the funniest story I've seen is because hackers are playful. Like they're super smart, but they love messing things up. Like they want to get their hands dirty, and then they actually are like very proud of their work too. So a lot of times like it's not that hard to find the hacking group that did like some massive hack. So I was talking to the CEO of a company called The Hacking Games, who's awesome, Fergus, and he was telling me that they basically reform hackers. So they like find the bad hackers and they like kind of bring them over to the good side, and they
Right.
black hat to white hat is what we
Yeah.
call them. And so they said that you know, they're also like social justice people. They're like, yeah, this is what should be happening, which I
Right.
love. I'm totally all for it. But during the war with Russia and Ukraine, they were really upset with how Russia was handling everything. And the hackers hacked into like basically what Russia was ordering, like whatever bombs or I think
Right.
it was
military equipment.
military equipment, but I think
Right.
it was like missiles. What is it? Shoulder missiles or what are they called?
The RPG.
Rocket
yeah,
launchers?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and so they decided to mess with the order. They decided to move it so the rocket launchers were like sent to somewhere else.
Right.
And they decided to send pink dildos
What? Are you serious?
That's so
to the
funny.
front lines. And I'm like, I think the Russian troops would have probably appreciated that.
That's the funniest
funniest
shit.
shit
Imagine
ever.
you're like the general, and then
Yeah.
you open up this box
It's like, what is
expecting
that?
rocket launchers, and you see big dildos.
Yeah. So I mean, hackers are
This
so,
actually happened?
Yes.
Oh,
Holy
shit.
shit.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
hackers
really
are
cool.
really playful, but again, they're also like during the war too. The way that they knew that they could get more information is romance scams. So a lot of the people from one side or the other would set up fake Tinder, Bumble profiles as a girl and start trying to and like put them at the location of where
The soldiers were?
The soldiers were, and they'd be flirting with the soldiers to try to get as much information as
Are
possible.
you telling me the soldiers were on dating apps?
Yes.
Of course, they're humans.
You're in the middle of a fucking war. You're
Basically,
fighting. Why would you? Where would you
Come on.
take the girl out on the dates? Where would you go out on the date in the trenches?
It's sexy, man.
Yeah.
Take me to the
It is
trenches.
unique. It is unique, to be honest. Yeah.
When was the last time
Once
you
in a
got
lifetime
asked?
experience. Okay, fair enough.
Trenches with pink dildos.
I'm not gonna have a good dream tonight.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so I think a lot of cybersecurity just comes down to human, like, perceptions, human
Right.
issues, and just human connection. And I think
Right.
a lot of people are confused because cybersecurity sounds so technical and sounds like so behind the scenes, but really it's just
like human
manipulation
psychology.
it's the manipulation of human psychology.
Right.
And it's nothing more than that. Like, that is how you win the war, is through humans.
If you're enjoying this conversation, we just wanted to remind you that we come back to you every single Tuesday with another episode of the Bad Decisions podcast.
It will be available on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Now back to the conversation. When did you start educating people on your content about cybersecurity?
Yeah, so it's funny because I was like a director level at like a very large
Yeah.
law firm, and I during COVID I was like, this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, this is not like my purpose in life. And I actually really appreciate COVID. I know it was terrible for a lot of people, but I personally appreciated it because it allowed me to slow down and start thinking, like, where should I go? What should I do? Because I was like kind of corporate grinding my whole life. I was like, work to the top and be the first woman and blah, blah, blah. And I was really in my masculine with that. And then I kind of slowed down and I took a breath. I was like, this isn't my purpose. And so I started a TikTok
Okay.
4 years ago called Cybersecurity Girl, did not have my real name on it. I was like, I knew no one in cybersecurity was going to be on TikTok.
Right.
Most people still aren't on TikTok. So for a year and a half, 2 years, I was like pretty much incognito to the cyber world.
Right.
Because no one was on TikTok. And, but I was like, I want to impact the next generation. I want to help more people get in. And I just want to like teach people how to protect themselves. And so, and I was like, I know they're all on TikTok because all the next generation is on TikTok. And it was
Yeah.
the best platform to really get pushed out because
Yeah.
it's very different than any other platform.
Sure.
And so that's how I started. It was only on TikTok for the first 2 years. And then I actually ended up getting a job at TikTok from my TikTok.
Oh,
What?
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
At the cybersecurity department of TikTok because of your videos about cybersecurity on TikTok.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I was leading the cybersecurity advocacy and culture program at TikTok globally, which was amazing. I had like a whole team underneath me. And then I ended up like moving on and going my own separate ways. But yeah, I only started on TikTok. I was super embarrassed because I was like, I'm a little too old to be doing this. I'm not like doing a bunch of dancing videos, but I
Right.
was a cheerleader, so I love dance.
Incorporated some
Yeah,
of that.
I did.
That would help.
Nothing's wasted, remember?
Yes,
All right?
exactly.
Nothing's wasted. I love dance. Honestly, my weird one-off goal is to like be on Dancing with the Stars next year because okay, so here's the thing.
Cybersecurity girl.
needs to be mainstream, okay?
That's the only
This
way
is
that
how you're
can
gonna
go.
get
Yes,
attention
yes.
to it.
And no, so I do so much all the time, and I like love what I do. But I'm like, do you know what would really fuel me and like fill my cup, just like make my heart happy? Is like being able to dance again because I had to quit cheerleading. I did it professionally too. I quit for cyber because my parents were like, no one's going to take you seriously. Like it was already a lot with you being a mechanical engineer and doing this. Like you know. Pick your lane, you know?
But now you can because you
Now
have
I
already
can.
built a name here,
Right.
which I do not know if it's your real name now, Caitlin. I don't trust
Oh,
that.
yeah,
I'm actually questioning that right now. Did you even come here with your real name?
Well, you do have my real phone number now. I will say that
Okay.
because I felt bad. I even asked my manager. I'm like, do I just give him my WhatsApp number? Or she was like, you could give him mine, and then I could just text you. I was like, this is too complicated. I'll just give
The
it up.
phone number is up for the highest bidder.
I will block you. Yeah, so I think it'd just be really fun, and it also would just be a way to continuously remind, like it's everyday people. Like there's so many incredible content creators out there that are really, really technical, and I love it. It's so needed, but that is not my job. Like I fully feel called to just making sure and reminding people, like everyday people, that like simple things that they can do will protect them. And I'm like, okay, it's like a little bit of me and also like a little bit, it's everything. It's the weirdest goal, but I'm like, this is gonna happen.
To be honest with you, based on my own experience on social media, and I've been doing this for a long time, I used to do it with gaming, and then I started one with my brother, which is Bad Decisions.
Yeah. Was that a bad decision or?
It was
It was
the
the
best
best
bad
decision
decision
that we
ever.
ever
Best
made.
bad decision ever. I realized the more yourself you are, the more people connect with you.
Yeah.
And I think everyone in the beginning thinks the less they are themselves and they act like another person, that people would accept them. But I think, this is my opinion, if you do start dancing the way you want to do it, I think people will actually connect with you even more, because
Yeah.
you'll have a whole new audience of people who appreciate the dancing bit and then get to find out about cybersecurity, or vice versa. And I'm looking forward to those videos.
Yeah, I was doing makeup videos too, and I like some guys that like, you know, work in tech companies that like want to hire me, like, oh, maybe you can be like more professional, and like,
They
you
said
know,
that? Are
they're
you
like, you can
serious?
do like, they're like, maybe you can like grow out of it. I'm like, no, this is like the whole point of this is to like get every type of generation excited,
Yes.
and like I
Yeah.
like being my feminine. I like being able to like do random makeup videos and teach you how to do stuff. Like, I'm not teaching makeup. I'm like teaching cyber while I am getting ready. You know, it's
Right.
not like I'm doing a normal getting ready with me. I was like, this is how I incorporate it in my life, and I want to show that to people. So if like you don't think this is professional, that's totally fine. I
That's
don't need
BS.
to, yeah.
No, that's
But
BS.
I think people just don't understand like the blend of like tech professional versus like creator
and lifestyle. And yeah, exactly. Do you see, because I haven't seen a lot of creators around cybersecurity, do you see that you being there creating these type of content is strange to your industry? And when they see you for the first time, they ask you like, what is she doing?
Oh,
do
yeah.
you get that?
Like all the time.
All the time.
First of all, I get like, why are you on social media as a cybersecurity
Yes.
expert? Especially, wow, I got really excited. Data privacy, like I'm specialized in data privacy and data protection. But I'm like, people need to know this, you know, like I don't really care if I'll throw myself in the fire. I don't really care. But yeah, I think people just need to know it. And I think once they start seeing my videos, they actually really appreciate it. But the weird thing is the guys are the ones that are confused about it more than the ladies. Like, I love what you're doing. And some of the guys are just like, it's not perfect. Like, it's out of the box. And I totally get it.
Yeah.
But you have to be.
Of course, to stand out, definitely. And I think you would be the first one in your industry who's doing it.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone talking about cybersecurity and then mix it with lifestyle. I've seen technical stuff, like really, really technical, long form on YouTube. But if you go on Instagram or if you go on TikTok and if you hear it, and I think that would resonate with everyday people much more. They will connect easily. And I saw your videos, they are very easy to understand. Like even I think our parents can watch it and think, oh, my password, I know what to do about it.
Yeah.
So I think what you're doing is a great service to a huge audience.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
It's like edutainment. Like
Yeah.
there's the entertaining bits and then there's the educational bits, and then combined together it makes it easy to digest.
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd be interested in the topic, to be honest.
You
and
you can lie and say like you're not actually that interested.
No, for the sake of the podcast,
Okay.
I'm just gonna pretend. But
Wink, wink.
like the honest story is, Farad actually found your content first, and I saw
sense.
it.
Makes
Yeah,
sense, right?
And when I looked at your videos, I was like, damn, I am actually literally
Very vulnerable.
the exact same person you're talking about in most of your videos. So I figured it would be so interesting to talk about this on the podcast, because it's just not being talked about enough.
Yeah.
And more people who are like me need to know exactly how they can protect themselves, because as we mentioned before, you are not going to fix it until you're burnt, right? People are always going to have to crash first and then realize, okay, you shouldn't drink and drive.
Right.
But if we can convince at least even 10 people to go ahead and fix the way they appear online so that they are not vulnerable, I think we've done our part.
No, I agree. And everyone's like, there's so many tips. Like, what do I do? I'm like, just do one. Like, just start with one.
Yeah.
Like, and again, some of these tips are like more of, now that you know how to do it in the future, right? Like the cookies thing, it's not going to like takes 2 extra seconds if you want to do that. Like create an identity. It's always really fun. I always tell people like go with your kids and be like, hey, what identity do we want online? You know, like it doesn't have to be you. But there's like certain things that like once you start it, it's just like it's like brushing your teeth. Like sometimes you're going to be tired and you don't want to brush your teeth at night, but you're like, I know for the betterment of myself, I should be brushing my teeth every night.
Yeah, Farah, we're talking about you.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about limiting access on the apps. From now on, every single app will have limited access.
Yeah, but actually though, that's the other thing. It's like little things like, okay, when I download an app next time, they don't need all of my photos.
Yes.
Or my camera, or my full phone number, or my address. Or
Actually, with Apple,
Sorry,
you can
I didn't
even
hear you.
hide. With Apple, you can hide your email when you sign up.
Okay.
You don't like that?
No, I do.
Okay,
I just had a question. I haven't actually figured this out yet, which is like very bad on me for like being a technical person. I've done it before where I've actually signed up for an app and I'm like, wait, I want to like sign up, but I can't find the email that they like the fake
Yeah.
email that they use.
Yeah.
But isn't it saved on your app? So
I-
the
it's
way it
not-
works.
No, it's
Yeah.
just no, but you don't know about it because it's like a hide my
They
email
will
kind of thing.
yeah, what I know is they will forward any email that goes to that fake email to your email.
Yeah, but what happens if you need to log onto the app
With a
on
different
another
device?
platform?
Okay, that
This
one
is
I
what
don't-
happens when you're trying to protect
No, it doesn't.
yourself.
No, that's the opposite of what you're
At least
doing.
I know what email I use.
That's why I said shame on me.
Everybody knows what email you use.
That's not true. That's not true.
I do.
God
No,
damn
but
it.
there's some apps. So I use an app called Cloaked, and there's like a few other ones that like you actually can generate real. It's similar to Google Voice. Have you guys heard of Google Voice?
No.
Oh, okay. So Google
Of
Voice, you
course
can you can generate. I mean, if you have a Google account, you can literally create a phone number, and all of the stuff, all the text messages will just go in the Google Voice app.
Right. Okay.
So like if you need a text, it just goes through that. It just doesn't go through your real phone number.
Okay.
But it's a real number, and people can call it.
Okay.
It will get forwarded, but it's an app. And so they have similar stuff to that with like emails too. Like you can generate real working emails, and all of the emails for that will go to the app. So I like doing that instead because I haven't figured out the hide my yet. But I think it's easier than it is. I will be very honest. I could not figure that out.
We will check out the
Yes.
Google Voices app as well.
Yeah.
But I did want to thank you for coming here. I know that you're here. I don't know for how many days actually.
I'm here for like almost a week.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right. And 1 Billion Summit is happening, so we're super excited about that. We haven't gone there
I was
ourselves.
gonna say,
are
when
gonna
are
go
you
after
gonna
this.
go? When are you
Yeah,
gonna
after this,
okay.
right?
We're
After
gonna
this,
go
yeah.
after this and check
Okay.
it out. But we just wanted to say thank you so much for dropping by on the Bad Decisions podcast. Hopefully, the next time we speak, I have protected myself
From all the scams
yeah,
online.
more than I should.
Okay, I think as a takeaway for you specifically,
Thank you.
you should identify the top 3 key accounts and make sure your passwords are strong and unique on them, and turn on 2-factor authentication.
How do you know my passwords are not strong?
I didn't.
Bro, like, you want me to say it?
You don't know all my passwords.
Is it bad decisions?
No. Luckily, no.
Is it password? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
No. I
Okay.
saw that
I
video
saw
of
that
yours.
video,
Like the most common.
the most common password
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
It
I
really
wouldn't do
is.
that. I wouldn't
Okay,
do that. I
that's
wouldn't
good.
do that. And plus, most websites don't even allow you to do that nowadays. You need to have
That's
like a
true.
capital letter and a number, a weird
So it's your
symbol.
name?
Don't reveal your password.
It's
Don't
not.
reveal
It's
it.
not.
Do you have a dog?
Okay, you're
Yes.
trying to let
Yes,
everyone
I have
know
a dog.
exactly. We have a dog, but luckily he's not in there in the passwords. Before she tries to completely leak all of my information online.
You already did that
No,
anyway.
I did not.
I didn't do anything. All your data's online.
If I get hacked, it's your fault.
Well, it won't be me because I don't know how to do that.
I'm just gonna say this at the end. If there are any hackers watching this, I love you. And
Don't come to me.
If you want to do anything, just contact me first. We can figure things out before you do anything.
He's
okay?
interested in having you help him send some pink dildos somewhere.
Yeah, I need to check that out, by the way. After that, I want to check that out. But yeah, thank you so much again for coming. We appreciate it. And big thanks to everyone watching as well. If you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments. And we'll try to answer them based on the current knowledge that we have now as cybersecurity experts.
You are now an expert officially.
Thank you.
I deem you
Certified.
expert.
Thank you.
Certified.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you
appreciate
very much.
that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to another episode of the Bad Decisions podcast.
Our goal is to bring this conversation in front of millions of people.
And therefore, we have one little request from you. Because if this conversation helped you, then you can help other people hear it too.
The way you can help is by leaving a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and follow us on Spotify and YouTube.
That's it. We'll see you guys next week on Tuesday.
Thank you.